So why don't we get started using the SidePak, how to turn it on and how to do some basic functions using the menus. To turn on and off the SidePak, we use this leftmost purple button. It's the on and off button, and it's also the page button that we use to return back to different menus and to go to different pages within the menu system. So to turn it on, we just press this leftmost button. It will click and take a minute or so before it's warmed up and ready to measure. You should probably let it warm up 3 or 4 minutes before you actually take any readings or use any of the data. So I think you can hear the pump going. And the first thing you see on the screen is warm-up mode, and it does have some numbers along the bottom there. Very clean in this kitchen. Only 0.002, 0.001 milligrams per meter cubed. So that's the number of milligrams per cubic meter of air. To convert that to micrograms per meter cubed, we would multiply by 1,000. So 1.001 milligrams per meter cubed would be equal to 1 microgram per meter cubed. Now I think you can hear the pump. It's getting pretty loud. It's fairly warmed up, and the display now says survey mode. So once we're in survey mode, that means we're taking data. We can start to log data if we want to, or we can just observe what's on the LCD display and write those numbers down. So how do we negotiate the different menus? Navigate the different menus. Press the page button. We immediately get to the main menu. And we can use these up and down buttons to go through. The first thing you see is data log. There's the setup submenu, statistics, zero calibration, which is important, and we're back again. So the menus cycle around. Let's go to setup. So if we go to setup, to enter that submenu, we would press the enter key, which is this right angle arrow all the way to the right hand side of the front panel of the SidePak. And immediately we go in and we see in that submenu time date. We can set the time and date. We can clear all of the memory inside the SidePak. We can set the log interval, the time constant for the display, and the calibration factor. Now that's an important one. So let's look in there and see what the calibration factor currently is. Currently it's set at 1.00. Now that's the default calibration factor, which means it's not changing what the factory default calibration is. Now we may want to change that. Now for tobacco smoke, we tend to use something that's around 0.3. We found that's a good number that will give accurate mass concentration readings. So to change that, we press enter, and it starts to blink. The factor starts to blink, and we can reduce it by pressing the down arrow until we get down to 0.30. We press enter again, and that's locked in. Now if we want to make sure we did it correctly, we look in and say, okay, yeah, it's still 0.3, so we're doing pretty well. To get out of a menu without necessarily pressing enter, you can press this page button again, and that takes us back. We can go all the way back to the main menu, all the way back to survey mode, which will tell us what the real-time concentration is on this LCD display. So let's go back again to the main menu, go back down to setup, press that button. Now what about the time and date? That's important to set to. Let's go in there. The first thing is the time. We have to press enter again, and it shows us the time. So it's now 14:03. That's pretty much right. So we'll go back and go back down again to date. And now it's March 15th, 2008. That's correct. So we can just press enter a bunch of times and get through. Press the page button to go back, and we can go back to the main menu. So that's a basic introduction to how to turn the SidePak on and page through the menus. I'll be more specific about the different menus as we do the different functions like zeroing the monitor or setting the airflow rate. To turn the monitor off, we press this leftmost button again and hold it down. and the monitor will say 3. You'll see on the screen 3, 2, 1 countdown, and if you hold it long enough it will turn off automatically. So that's it. Pretty straightforward.